If you were watching this video, that means that either the Indigo disc comes out in just mere hours, or the Indigo disc is already out and you are enjoying the Blueberry Academy. Welcome back to the Lumiose Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be breaking down the lore and the stuff going on in the Indigo disc. Now, we are going to avoid story spoilers here, so no need to worry about that. It's not like I'm going to tell you, that Kieran dies or something. I'm recording this before the Indigo disc is out, so I don't know if he I don't think they're gonna kill him off, but if he dies, I promise I didn't do that on purpose. But I don't think he will. But anyways, we're going to be breaking down just where Pokemon is pulling inspiration from, so you kind of go into the game knowing, oh, this is in reference to that, etc., etc. So, first off, let's talk about, the main legend of this DLC set, that's Terapagos, as well as just the plot, or rather, the location of the Blueberry Academy. This is all pulling from the tale of Urashima Taro. Urashima Taro is this Japanese, I guess, like, fairy tale, really, where basically a fisherman is fishing, and he sees these kids bullying a turtle. And so he stops it, and the turtle later comes back as a giant turtle, and basically says, I'm going to take you to this dragon palace to reward you for, doing this, for saving me from those bullies. And so they go to this dragon palace that exists under the sea, and here he meets this princess, he gets married to her, and, well, everything's not so happy, because he finally tells, the princess, you know what, I need to go back to where I'm from, I need to see my family, all that stuff, and she's like, absolutely, take this box with you, don't open the box. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm sure you can see where this is going. He goes back to the real world, and he is like, wait, everything's different. And someone even is like, are you Urashima Taro? He disappeared like 500 years ago. I can't remember if 500 is the exact number, but it was a long time ago. His family's long dead. And he's like, what? That can't be. And in a panic, he kind of is like, maybe if I open the box, it'll solve it. And he opens the box, and inside the box, it contains his years, and he quickly becomes an old man and dies, like, in an instant. And basically, the idea was that the Dragon Palace, while he was there, he was actually, he was in a kind of place where time worked a little bit differently, right? Like, he was living outside of time, in a way. He was there 500 years, even though it wasn't nearly that long to him. And so in that box, it contained all his years, and by opening it, he released them and, quickly aged like 500 years, which is not good for the body, in case you didn't know. So, I'm sure you can probably figure this, but Terapagos is based off of the turtle we see in Urashima Taro. It even has a little baby small form, like the form that the fisherman saw being bullied, and it has a giant turtle form, like the one that Urashima rode to the Dragon Palace. Now, we also have the Blueberry Academy kind of representing the Dragon Palace here. In fact, to hammer this down a little bit more, in the Dragon Palace, Urashima encounters these, like, doors, and each door basically opens to a different season. In a similar way, the Blueberry Academy has the terrarium, and the terrarium has 4 different environments. And, if you really wanted to, you could say that they're indicative of different seasons, right? You have a barren area where things are kind of a little more dead. That could be fall. You have a tundra. That's winter. And then you could say that the place with the waterfalls and all, that's summer. And the place that's the coastal biome that has all these flowers and stuff, that's spring. You can mix those around if you want. But either way, the point is 4 biomes, 4 seasons. That's how that's all connected. So now this is where we get into a little bit more speculation, but I'd imagine that Cyrano is the king of the Dragon Palace, since he is the, kind of owner, the director of the Blueberry Academy. He would probably be representative of the king. Now, the princess, that's actually kind of interesting. Some people think that that could be Carmine. Some people think that could be Lacey, because she is kind of your guide, and you meet her, it seems, relatively quickly after arriving there. But yeah, also to further hammer down that, you know, we are at a Dragon Palace, right? A lot of the Pokemon in this DLC are Dragon type, right? Like Raging Bolt's a Dragon type. We don't know this, but I speculate Terapagos is going to be Dragon type, but we'll see. Then we have the evolution to Duraludon, Archaludon, and we, of course, have what we kind of know from Code is going to happen. That is Diplin's evolution. So, you know, it's also a dragon, very likely. So, there you go. You have multiple dragons appearing in this DLC. Also, Paradox Entei, we all assume will happen. And given that it's Electric Dragon for Raikou's Paradox and Water Dragon for Suicune's Paradox, I imagine that Entei's would be Fire Dragon. Again, speculative, but that's what I'd figure. Now, another thing that we're seeing, like I just mentioned, are new Pokemon. Of course, the Paradox Pokemon, hopefully we get an explanation on this in the game. And by the way, if you do, you know we'll be covering it, so subscribe. But also, we do have some kind of more common Pokemon we're getting, like, again, Archaludon, a new evolution to Duraludon. And what this Pokemon represents is, well, Unova, because you see the Blueberry Academy is located in the Unova region. So Duraludon, which was previously based off of the Shard, which is a tower over in the United Kingdom, because Duraludon debuted in Galar, which is, you know, supposed to be the Pokemon equivalent of the UK. Well, I guess it's really the Pokemon equivalent of Great Britain, because it doesn't really include Ireland, but that doesn't matter. The point is, now it has evolved into a bridge, and the reason for this is because since we're at the Blueberry Academy, we're in Unova. Bridges, Unova's very well known for that. It has 5 bridges, and they are kind of a big deal in Unova. They're a big part of the region, and we're a big part of, like, the marketing of the region and all that. So, Archaludon's clearly supposed to represent this. Is this a hint at Unova remakes? I don't know, but I think so. We do also have some stories continuing from the Teal Mask, specifically what's going on with Kieran. As you know, the Teal Mask ended on, and if you don't know this, you can't play the Indigo disc yet. You need to go finish the Teal Mask story. But the Teal Mask ended on Kieran being very angry, and there was a scene where he punches the shrine, and people have, like, kind of slow-moed it and seen that, like, this purple thing enters him. And basically what we're thinking is it's this new Pokemon that we could find in the Code and also at Peachy's stand over in Mossweed Town that in Code it's called Dokutaro, but again, if the game's out, we already know this thing's name, so there's that. But this Pokemon is the master of the Loyal 3, and it's also seemingly affecting Kieran, so there's that whole plot line as well. Now, what is this Pokemon based off of? Well, it's clearly based off of a Peach, as it appears at Peachy's and looks very Peach-like. And you might go, okay, why? And well, that's because the Loyal 3 and that whole story takes after Momotaro. It's kind of like a Once Upon a Time version of Momotaro, where, like, the characters are different, things are a little bit different. You know, like, the Loyal 3 are evil, and in Momotaro, they're the good guys. So, you know, it's a bit of a twist on it, but that's what they're basing this off of. And this Peach Pokemon, being the master of these 3, means he represents Momotaro. And Momotaro is called the Peach Boy, because he was actually born from a peach. So, naturally, the Momotaro Pokemon is based off of Peach. I imagine, too, it might, like, open up and be something else, something cooler, because, again, born from the peach, right? That's my logic in that, but we'll see. We'll see very, very soon. Or maybe we're seeing it right now. Time is tricky like that. But yeah, so that's everything you need to know about what's going on in the Indigo disc in terms of, like, where it's pulling from real life inspirations. You know, if you're watching this before Indigo disc is out, maybe now's a good time to pull up the story of Urashimataro or Momotaro or both and read them, and maybe you can kind of get some cool predictions, last minute predictions before the game comes out. So let me know those last minute predictions in the comments below, or if you're watching this after the Indigo disc has come out, well, you know, let me know what you're enjoying about it. Be sure, everyone, to, for one, use a spoiler warning in the comments. I, myself, am excited to play the game, and I would like to go at my own pace, and I don't want story spoilers. So use spoilers in the comments below. You know, say spoilers before you spoil, okay? Alright, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I'll see all of you later.